All right, so what's going on, everyone? We're back. So welcome, yeah, Murdia fan, SU Face IO, Pablo Villegas. Welcome. So we're going to get this show on the road. Unfortunately, it's not the video I wanted to do, but I feel like this is a dangerous precedent for Capcom to do this if I'm the only one that's targeted with this. So yesterday, I didn't know I received an email yesterday. Oh, good. It's nothing bad. Oh god, it's nothing bad. All right, we'll get this sorted out. All right, so I hope it's good on my end. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's fine. You should be able to see it. I'm not too sure. So we were ready to give you a whole lot of content for the week. We had so many videos. I worked on them today, and then I've unfortunately had to delete them because I can't release them. So Capcom sent me an email yesterday, and they basically said they want over 1,000 videos of mine removed. I can show you proof here. They sent me an Excel sheet with literally every single video they wanted removed. So it worked out as about 1,005 videos, or 1,004 there. It's 1,005 there. So 1,004 videos I want to remove. So I've had to go ahead and remove every single one of my Resident Evil mod videos, or majority of the Resident Evil mod videos, the uh, so Street Fighter, well, Resident Evil and Street Fighter mainly. So yeah, so okay. So I've had to remove all my videos with Resident Evil related. I know I look a bit orange. I apologise. It's the light. But yeah, so on top of that, while I was doing that, I received a termination on my account. So YouTube randomly, with their AI wisdom, decided to terminate my channel for about 10, 20 minutes. We then appealed it. I said I was deleting videos and did nothing wrong. They then went, yep, they reinstated my channel. You know, they reinstated it. And then, for some reason that didn't show the other one. Good old computer just showing a shit. But yeah, that's the gist of it, really. So YouTube have, well, not YouTube. They terminated my channel. They reinstated it, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed to do Resident Evil mods no more without the threat of legal action. So this is a dangerous precedent if I'm the only one targeted. I sent an email back. Welcome, Pedro Singh, Mello. Yeah, I know. So what happened was I sent an email back asking. So you can see, to whom may concern, why am I the only one being single-handedly targeted here? That sucks. You know, Deathly Purple. Well, I think some costume is sexual. But it's the thing, Sing. So I'm targeted, but I'm sure none of these other channels will. That's how strange it is. So I asked them the question, why am I being single-handedly targeted here? Why are you not going after any of these channels and Patreons? So about Village Time, they targeted every mod author for a while. So I believe they targeted Mangaka for a little while. And then she had to stop for a little while, and then she started doing it again. And the cycle continues, right? So in this case, I've got to figure out what I've got to do in my channel. So obviously I can't do costume mods no more, but I'm sure I can do weapon mods because I've seen many weapon mods be done and they've not been removed. You know, so this seems probably to be the beginning of the end for costume mods, I guess. And 38 people watching, holy shit. Yeah, apologise as well for not me being able to stream a lot. I think when I did the, yeah, you know, the FUD, I know. It sucks, you know, and we're now sitting here wondering what I can do. You know, I know I did a poll earlier and it said people want me to stay on the channel and just stream, which I'm happy to do. I'm happy to do that, you know. At the minute, I'm not earning anything through monetization either. So YouTube got me on absolute bullshit, and just gotta wait. If I get monetized, I get monetized. If not, I've always got a backup plan.
It wasn't even they got your main channel, they got
Yeah,
the spare.
yeah. So they got my spare. Are they going to make you remove the vids? They've already been removed. F11. Boycott
Yeah,
Capcom. I think Evie's decided to boycott Capcom completely. I
yeah,
checked earlier,
I have.
channel was actually gone. Yeah.
So I've decided like I think after all this bullshit, basically for me, it's like no thanks because when you're throwing temper tantrums, essentially like a bunch of children, as fucking adults that own these fucking IPs. I think you either need to get your head out of the fucking game at this point, or accept that this shit will happen regardless of what you say and what you want us to do. Make it clear what defines as a mod.
Yeah. So apologies everyone. So like, I had to delete them. They gave me they gave me a week to delete them. I just went, you know what? Let's just delete them. You know, and this is now gonna really backfire on people having a look. So it's all right. It's all right for them. It's all right. Like I say, I didn't expect many people to be on here, but holy fuck, loads of people did. But yeah, so this is the thing. It's difficult. Hold on, did you did just your channel kept the same thing other channel? Yeah. So it sounds like it's only me, Platypus, so far that has been affected by this. So they've managed to get me through my business email address. I've got that on my YouTube. They've emailed me. I've complied. You know, but this is a dangerous precedent. I'm actually enjoying the grace ones. That's bullshit. Yeah.
It's not even just a dangerous precedent. It's extremely. Because
it's a.
The ice is so thin on what they define as a mod because they didn't specify what type of mods are good and what isn't. So it's like it sets a precedent, dangerous one for the Resident Evil modding community as a whole because some people don't do the mods that they don't like. They do difficulty, they do weapons. It's like so. If modding,
it says character mods on the email.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
But yeah, it's like so I might be able to do weapon mods. We'll continue with weapon mods. So what I did was I completely deleted the mod manager. So I'm going to re-download the mod manager and just have all the weapons on there. And I'm going to assume game difficulty ones will be fine. Because like, what about people with Bok Pursuit, for example? Like he's doing difficulty mods and some costume mods. Why has he not been punished? You know, why aren't some of these other ones been punished? But it's always been me. So in 2019 as well, I'll just clarify some other little stuff as well. So in 2019 and 2020, I was struck quite a bit by Capcom. So they got me on just some little full playthroughs and whatnot, but we were fine. You know, I was happy to comply. You know, just to keep the channel going. But this was like 7 years of my life here doing mods for you guys. You know, and it's a piss take. You know that. But it sets a precedent that if I'm the only one that's affected by this, but other people are allowed to do this without any issues, then that's questionable. You know, like there's numerous other channels on here that are doing the same thing, but if they're not being told to remove their videos, or they've just been struck, you know, and or not been struck, then this is a confusing thing. So I'm gonna change all my reviews on Steam, you know, saying what they've done to me, you know, and this is ridiculous. You know, they won't go after the people that really need to get ongoing, like Chocobo Game, who's literally done Sherry mods, like of a 12-year-old, you know. Out of Ink Ribbons is another one who's literally been doing costume mods on children, you know. And if I see anyone that associates with Out of Ink Ribbons or Chocobo, specifically on the Sherry videos, they will be blocked from here. You know, like I can't have that on here. Like I've always, like everyone knows me, I've been passionate about this fucking community, and I've always wanted the paedophiles to be gone from the platform. They don't deserve a audience. They don't deserve a platform. You know. Hello, Sweet. How you doing? Yeah. Honestly, Sweet, it's crazy. It's happened again. It's happened again. Just when we were going to get to 2K videos as well, and they dropped that bomb on me. It's like, great. But you know what? It's right. There's plenty of other games other than Resident Evil we can mod and actually support their modding community, you know, like Stellar Blade, Project Zomboid, Stellar Blade, The Killing Antidote, you know. There's so many communities out there that want to support you. You know, they want to support the modding scene. Capcom just don't get it. You know, they just don't understand. Ever since this stupid nude mod on a tournament that they allowed, by the way, or they should have screened properly, and the geezer left his nude mod on, this has been a thing. So if you see no one else get the same shit as me, then you know that this is a thingy. They really hate you for some reason. Well, everyone else goes untouched. You're not showing the most sexual mods out there. Yeah. What about all the nude mods out there? It's well that on YouTube currently they haven't done anything about. And they know to do something about this, but they haven't bothered. You know, it's not just the nude mods, it's the Sherry mods as well. And there's talk of fucking poor Emily getting mods as well.
Oh, God,
like sexual mods on Emily, and nothing's ever done. Yeah. You know, and it's insane to me that Capcom want to punish me, but I'm the one that's brought light onto this situation.
Yeah.
I've called out the paedophiles. I've called out the weirdos. You know, yeah, I've never understood. They've seen people like modding, and it's never done anything to more hurt the sales. Censorship always sucks, yeah. And you think you're going to get another no mods on them? Exactly. We don't want that. We don't want that. Like
that's just fucking astounding. And it's like they, as good as I said, it's like they don't do anything to that, but they'll punish people that aren't doing anything inherently wrong or technically illegal. You know, it's like,
they want to punish me. Like I remember there was a guy named Albert F. in Wesker, right? This was a Konami situation. So he was playing on like pirated PC copies of Silent Hill 2 and 3. They told him to delete the streams and the files. You know, it's insane. You know, you can't get a hold on games no more. You know, they're fucking hundreds of pounds now. You know, and dollars as well. And like this was many years ago, like, so that's one example. Like, who they're gonna go after next? So like they're gonna go after fuckface, you know, they're gonna go after the pedos. I doubt it. You know, like we'll keep an eye on it in the next week. Like they gave me a week. So I will see within a week. I'm going to keep messaging them as well. Oh, that prick Albert from West, I think he was a fake. Yeah, honestly, they won't go after the people, but they have former trans porn stars that groom or teenagers into the porn industry, like the Sphere Hunter, and the guy that had AIDS or something as well. He's a part of Capcom now. It's always strange with what they're doing with this, and no one puts light onto it. You know, like multiple people have called this out, you know, but it's never picked up on. Like, I've always known about the Sphere Hunter being a fucking phony for ages, you know, and like, I know, like I can see through people, like I can see through the shit, you know, and like at this rate, I'm gonna have to literally go on all my stuff, like go on Nexus and download all the weapon stuff again. That's gonna take painstakingly ages, but yeah, that was the main gist of it, you know, and what can I do from there? So I put a poll out. People want me to stay on the channel, but with certain things as well, it's making life hard for me. So obviously, wait, the Sphere Hunter Susie, yeah, former trans porn star that groomed, what is it? I believe her name was Ella Hollywood or something like that. She, so her girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, was Natalie Mars, and they groomed this person. Did I know that mods keep the game fresh? Exactly, Ash. Exactly. And I'm not talking only skins, mods, randomizers already. Yeah, like I believe they don't have anything against the randomizers and the and like the game modes. You know, that make things hard. I don't think they have anything against that. I think they just don't like the skins. So, if you guys want me to do custom weapon mods, and she was a former porn star, yeah, can former trans porn star.
And they keep her around playing, even
if you type in Sue Lightning Cane. There you go. But yeah, nonetheless, yeah, but if you want me to do game modes or randomizers and weapon mods, I'm happy to do that. I don't think they've got anything against weapon mods, you know. Stop posting Capcom kind of post sexy mods for Stellar Blade instead. Well, Jay Fury, I would like to do that, but at the minute, when it comes to video content or play some retro games, we'll see if we can get the viewership for that. You know, I want to experiment a little, I suppose. We'll try. I would like to do Stellar Blade, maybe do some streams of Stellar Blade as well, and maybe record full walkthroughs and upload them onto another channel. That could be a route, I suppose, where I could do that. Custom weapon mods, maybe, and randomize. And if you want to know commentary version of that, you got that there. You know, I try and offer the best I can, you know, and sometimes resources are tough as well. And like the last couple months as well, we've been demonetized, and that's been an absolute pain for me because like obviously like doing YouTube for me is a source of income, you know. It would be an extra 100 200 quid. It's just there, you know. But I did so many streams of for the Road to Requiem as well, like 2 a day, and like I think that's what really knackered me out, and I needed a little break from that. Doing 2 streams a day for like 6+ hours a pop, fuck you know. that's not what you want. But yeah, so it's just the gist of it. So if you've just joined, I'll go through it again. So Capcom sent me an email telling me to delete all 1,000 something odd videos of mine. 1,005 videos or 1,004, he said in there. We did that, you know, I've complied. You know, like I've always complied with what people say, but if they come back to me and demand more, unfortunately as well, this has actually completely knocked me out of the algorithm as well. So we've gone from making 1.9k views in an hour to about 200, and that says it all. So like I feel like when it comes to videos, it's gonna really be a pain in the ass for me, as well to get back in the algorithm, and I think either way, even if I went onto another platform, it would be no different, like maybe I need to focus specifically on just streams, I suppose, and maybe have more of a connection to you as a viewer. Maybe you want to chat about anything and anything. I always welcome that. We've always welcomed chatting with about anything and anything on the streams. You can talk about work, you can talk about anything, like anything and anything. That's what my streams were always good for back in the day, and I've always tried to keep that as a thing here on the channel. It's just unfortunate with use Patreon. I would love to, but when it comes to Patreon, it's just as bad, especially for videos. Like if I were to upload videos on Patreon, I'd have to downsize the quality of the video as well, and there's no guarantee that Capcom would just shut me down as well. I don't know. I don't know. I've considered creating mods as well, and I think they would just go after me on that. I feel like I'm just public enemy number one with Capcom at the minute. But yeah, like every option's on the table, as I've always said. You know, I would love to do many things, and it's just the time, the effort. My MSG said, if you think of Vicky for going, like, bollocks, Kane. Like, Martin's fake news. Like, honestly, I sat there. When we got terminated, I was really livid because I did nothing. They got me on an AI or like some sort of grok video I had in my drafts. That's being serious. They got me on an AI video that was in my drafts. And
a video that weren't even out.
Yeah, a video that wasn't even released as a short. They got me on, struck me. They literally got me on that and struck me and terminate my channel. I've not got no strikes aside from a warning that should have gone away by now, but maybe they've changed that since then. Like I can't get hold of anyone on YouTube because I'm not in the partner program either. So like my options are extremely limited to try and get any help from YouTube. Like you'd have to go through on their robotic Twitter, where they get community noted every 2 seconds, I suppose. But yeah, I know I'm talking a million words a minute here. Like I've got every option on the table. If you want to see me do other games, we've got that option available. I've got so many games I haven't played on Steam, PlayStation, and at the minute, maybe we'll have a look into some other game mods as well, and just avoid Capcom mods in general. Like I feel like costume mods in general, I'm done with after this. I feel like I've done everything I can when it comes to costume mods. It's getting help from YouTube. You better have chance. Yeah, exactly. Draining blood from a stone is exactly what it is with YouTube. We appealed and we got the channel back, and they gave me an age restriction on said short. They did the same thing a few weeks ago. We uploaded a 2B mod, and YouTube struck that, claiming sexual content, and the timeline or like the timestamp of that said violation was a black screen, the end of the video. And I don't know how to digest that, It's just a pain in the ass. We try and be as specific as we can. I tried linking every mod as I could as well for years. There was some I just couldn't, and the reason why I couldn't was because there was adult content on there. I always try, and if there was something like nudity in there, I would blur my video, like to a point where you couldn't see anything, and it's like I complied with every guideline, and it was a black screen. I looked it up when Grizzo showed it, yeah. It was a little black screen, and I peeled it, they denied it, and then put another, just a second extra, which was another black screen.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. But yeah. Yeah, like, we now need some recalls. We put the poll up. People want to say stay and thingy, but I'm going to open another channel regardless. I feel like maybe we can do no commentary stuff on there. It might be worthwhile for me as well. It might be worthwhile for you as well. If you don't want to, you might want to support my streams, but don't like the commentary. I know some people said that back in the day they didn't like my commentary. So like, the plan was always to have it on my other channel, the Grizzo Gameplays. That was always the plan. But I'm going to open a new channel and have something unlinked. I know someone that might be able to help me, because where my AdSense is connected to the thing, that's where they get you for the monetization, and that's where they slap you with these shit. So I know someone that can open an AdSense in their name, upload my videos with my express permission, and we'll just go from there. Yeah, if there's anything else you want to know, anything I know, you're more than welcome to ask. Where I got my mods from, when the email happened, this happened yesterday at about 5, so about 25 hours ago, and I only noticed. We had many videos ready to go. We had a Goth do commentaries. It helps the viewers connect with you, in my opinion. Of course, Kane. We're always going to have the stream with commentary as on my main channel, and then another channel would have one with no commentary and just the gameplay. I know some people prefer gameplays, and it might be their more their shtick. And like I want to connect more with you guys, and just try and just be me. Never you guys know me for uploading mods, and I just want you guys to know me for me. And that's me being chill and just want to speak, connect with you. I'm sure Evie wants to do that too, just connect with others and thing. I'd only do this if I got paid from AdSense, I'd only be using it for Evie, so she's got something to live on, and pay off an odd bill. That's where all my AdSense went. In truth, I think the highest ever earning month I ever had was when I moved here. So when I moved into this flat, we got about 2K, and £1,000 of that was taken by a machinima, I think it was, or full screen or whatever. Oh yeah, full screen. That was my highest earning every month. That was in 2020, I think. But yeah. But what about my existing second channel? So that one's a pain in the ass. So I'm dealing with demonetization on that one, sweet. And we've lost a lot of the old streams too. I've had to remove everything. Like back in 2022, was it, when I had to delete everything again?
Yeah.
I had to delete everything, and like I was at my lowest point. I don't feel at my lowest point because we still have content on the channel. It was 1,000 videos. Maybe I can do something for that. Maybe I can. If you're showing too much skin, could you show outfits that are more covered up and still good looking, or is it just all outfits? From what it sounds like for 11, it might be all outfits. They just said all adult oriented mods for me on related videos being created and published on YouTube. Like they've been so vague in my email. It's been so extremely vague, and I don't really want to. I mean, I would love to do it again, but I feel like I have to do something else. Maybe just do was it like difficulty mods, weapon mods, and randomized would probably be what I'll have to do. Like I have a few other little ideas as well. I've wanted to do marathons as well. That was something I wanted to come in. I was going to speak about that yesterday. Like I was going to do marathons, but like life got in the way, and I got focused on a bit of content creation. But that's if I don't stream, it's always me doing something else. Don't ever think I would ever leave you with that. I've never done so. There's been times where I've been annoyed, and it's YouTube. It's YouTube that's the unfortunate problem in this. But nonetheless, like I just want to give you guys the best as I can there. Like maybe show you that I'm not just about mods, and I just want to show you who I am, like someone who's chill, someone who just wants to meet new people and just chill and have a good laugh while having a bit of gaming like everyone else wants to do, right? But yeah, I'm happy you snapshot some images of Grey showing her legs. Someone uploaded Leon in a Barney outfit and getting taken down, yeah, imagine. It is sad. It is sad that Capcom are just so out of touch with their community that they don't understand about mods. Like Final Fantasy, for example, like Square Enix, they said they're happy with mods. I suppose they don't mind it. The Killing Antidote, their game is literally existing just for mods, and enjoy the game, just to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
There's a few other games out there that openly want you to do the dress up and whatnot, like Killing Antidote. I think Wicked Seed's one of them. There's so many more games out there that want you to do that, like Stellar Blade, and there's so many games that want you to do that because they want you to play their game. Capcom seemingly just want your money, especially with a PC port. And when the going gets tough and they remake the game again, they'll say, "Oh, the previous game was terrible. You know, or the
I
last iteration with the GOG stuff.
I mean, I just want to point out as well about the whole thing with Requiem is they say they don't like mods, they don't want women being like all this that, and the other, but they don't mind it happening to the men characters. But also,
look what they did with Leon.
They released Grace with a costume that was like one of the most overly wanted and simped after characters, Lady Dimitrescu on Grace, and even gave her all the proportions of said Lady Dimitrescu. So it's like, so you're putting yourself in a pit here because you say you don't want it, but then you do that. It's like, so which is it, mate?
So are you stopping costume mods, or are you just not doing Capcom games, still doing other game costume mods? So on stream, we'll still play Resident Evil. We won't do costume mods, but we'll do weapon mods, game modes, and whatnot. But other games we'll look into. We've got plenty of games. We've got Tomb Raider, Final Fantasy, Stellar Blade. I'm sure they'd be happy with me doing that content. You know, I'm sure there's, and Killing Antidote as well. I'm sure there's some updates to that I haven't checked since. You know, but yeah, we'll still have videos. I might take a break for a couple of days just from video wise, and we'll just do a stream or something. I don't know, but we'll yeah, smart developers should know mod increase their product to be bought and increase playtime overall. Yeah,
exactly.
You think Requiem was the fastest selling Resident Evil game?
Yeah.
You know, and the way they've treated me, you know, if they don't do the same to other people, like big people as me, like Moopir or something like that, there's just something like that. Me as thing, if they don't do it to him, they don't do it to Mr. X, don't do it to any of them, then we know something's up. Yeah, like I'd be happy if they got rid of Chocobo and out of ink ribbons just for the cherry mods. I'd be happy with that personally. That in truth, I don't want naked mods of children and sexual mods of children on the platform. You know, it gives us the bad image. You know, it's people like them that gives the bad image of me. Welcome, Frida Baker. How you doing? And again, there's 2 chapters now. I've only played a little bit of chapter 2, when they released that little bit. I haven't played the rest. Your video's crazy. Appreciate it, Frida. I appreciate that. Yeah, we don't want mods of, like I've always been open. If you've known me for years, you know I've always said it's people like that that ruin it for us, you know, ruin it for my channel, you know. Like I've been the sacrificial lamb for some of these channels, you know. Like as soon as I was demonetized back in 2022 or 2021, I immediately drew attention to that channel. I said, "Why are you not doing anything about Chocobo Game?" You know, why are you not doing anything about Chocobo Game? I'm just pointing like that, you know. Why are you not doing anything? They didn't do anything. They said, "Oh, we've reviewed it. We're not going to do anything." 1 week later, it was demonetized. 1 week later, you know, because I pointed it out. As far as I'm concerned, YouTube not restringed. Yeah, so YouTube reinstated my channel, which is great. A bit late to the party. What happened? All right, welcome, Tiz Bulldog. So. All right, so for everyone that's joined, I just want to iterate quickly before it becomes a word salad quickly, and we get too into it. So what happened was, 2 things happened. So Capcom issued me an email through my business account. You know, I tend to just get spam from the same guy who's got like 1 million emails, you know. But they said they wanted me to remove all my videos of Resident Evil mods. That I've complied, you know, I've had to, otherwise they would have nuked my channel. You know, I'd rather keep the channel safe and have our content up, you know, and exactly what Kane said. And while we were doing that, YouTube terminated my channel. That's the truth. They terminate my channel for no reason. I didn't even get a chance. I was deleting videos as soon as I went to thingy when your channel has been terminated for violating community guidelines. I was like, so no more videos? We will still be doing videos, but we just won't be doing Resident Evil stuff. We will just be doing Stellar Blade, Tomb Raider, and Killing Antidote.
Tomb Raider? Oh.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do some Tomb Raider stuff. They appreciate. I'm sure they would like me to do that. You know, we'll do as much as we can. And so the best way is we appealed. They reinstated me. We've got rid of the rest of the videos. They age restricted me for the record, Bulldog, as well. So this video was a short that was in my drafts, so it wasn't even released. They terminate me for that. It's baffling.
But they won't terminate people that are actually committing against like TOS and all that.
What about all the transparent cleaning videos and the naked yoga and all that shit?
What about all those wax videos?
Yeah, and the Brazilian wax. What about the...
Like, that's educational, is it?
Yeah,
like,
there's a geezer with a fucking... What is it? The little Asian geezer fucking showing how he fucking shaves his arsehole or waxes it or something. And that's fine.
It's like, how's that educational?
I wish I'm joking. Like, I can show you. Let me grab the folder.
It's like, how's that educational? Because, like, the people get
there
away
we go.
because they put into education.
So they removed me for about 10-20 minutes. They removed me for 10-20 minutes. We appealed. We won. And then they... Oh, and then, of course, it's done that. And because of that, we've gone from, like, 1.9k views to now to that. It don't matter. It don't matter no more. It's all right, Frida. It's all right. All the porn and shit site, even on the kids version. So I know on YouTube Kids it was there for a long ass time. I know there was another thing where they would have cut like kid shows and put porn in it. Yeah. And it would just cut to porn, and YouTube wouldn't pick up on that. Yeah. And like there's a few other ones as well where they would show like beheading videos and all that on kids stuff in very small resolution. I've tried to keep, I just want people to know as well. Like I've tried to explain now in the deep web. Yeah, Frida. I've tried to explain or like tried to point out so many times with some of these weirdos in the modding community as well. There's so many of them. I've tried so hard. And like I've been passionate. I want the modding community to grow. But you can't have these weirdos in here, man. You can't have these people up doing mods of kids and all that, and it remains unchecked. Wow, Capcom, Bulldog. They want you to move my Resident Evil character once for a channel that has 90% about content and mod. Fuck that, yeah. So, as well.
Because I watch a geezer who's had like mods in the videos, but they've not been like nude or anything. It's like, so does that mean that would affect him? Even though like he used the Fallout suit for jail for free remake. It's like, so would that be classified as you don't like that?
Yeah, the thing is as well, some of the stuff they wanted me to remove was actually stuff from other games as well. Believe it or not, there was a couple of Stellar Blade ones. They wanted me. I'm fighting on that because that's not their IP. That's not their copy.
I'd say that's not your IP though. It's got
no but I'll fight some of this. But like a lot of my highest ever viewed videos are gone. A lot of my full playthroughs are gone, and the thought of having to recreate some of that without mods is going to be an absolute pain in the arse. But if you want me to redo that minus the mods, I'm happy to do it. I'd be happy to do it again. But it's...
Capcom striking you for Stellar Blade sounds like
so you think 1,000 and I think I did about 1,040 videos altogether just to make sure, and that'd be 1,000 days. That'd be 2.5 years again. Yeah. So you think I started doing mods again in 2023?
And some of that was streams as well.
Yeah, and a lot of that was streams as well.
I mean, it's like, put it this way, that fucking the Resident Evil 6 Chris stream we did, he was in Jill's clothes, not
a lot of it, like a lot of they linked wasn't even sexual mods. It were just normal ones, normal ones, and they wanted me to remove that, saying it's adult oriented.
Yeah, it's like, how is it adult? How is Chris being in Jill's clothes adult oriented? I don't know, maybe he's just cosplaying as his best friend. Like, is that so wrong? No, not really.
But yeah, honestly, if you want me to redo some of the work, I don't mind doing it. If you want to see infinite MO mods on 2, 3, 4 remake and Requiem again, we'll do it. We'll do it as streams and upload it on another channel.
Resident Evil 5 and 6 again,
I'll we'll see. Chocobo channel should be straight up put on Pornhub. It shouldn't be YouTube at all. That video should be age restricted because the angle of the camera is literally sexism. Yeah, exactly. Platypus knows it.
Yeah.
And I weren't doing any of that.
YouTube full stop.
Yeah, exactly.
It, I mean?
Like at least people are knowing. Like I want awareness of this shit. Like I can't say flag anyone. I'm not allowed to do that because you're not allowed to do that on YouTube. But if you see that shit, fucking flag it. If you see it, flag it. Get so many. We need to rally like a community or something and just literally go after some of these channels that are uploading that. We really need to. I want to see. I would love to clean up modding. I would love to. But I feel like this is literally now like the modding itself, I know a lot of it is like toxic cesspit. Even modders as well, like mod creators, are actually doxing others, like were paying for commissions. So there was a person that paid over $700, I think it was, in
Yeah.
total for commissions. They never got their mod, so they did chargebacks, I believe, and they started doxing this person. You know, I'm not naming names here. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm not going to name names here, but this channel did nothing, you know, and this mod author decided to not only dox them, show pictures of their house and threaten to call the police and threaten to sue them because they lived in China. I wish them joy. Because they lived in China, they wanted them to file a law or get them arrested or something like that. The DMs are out there somewhere. I'd have to physically hunt for them for you, but it's crazy to me. Like it's crazy that stuff like that is even happening in the community. You know, we're gonna, you know, we'll bounce back. You know, I suppose we always do. You know, but we'll definitely have a variety of stuff instead of just doing plain Resident Evil. Let's do other games. Let's do other horror games. There's other horror games I want to play, and I've not had a chance to play it, but I bought them. You know, like, do you guys want to see other horror games? Do you want to see some fun? You want to see some retro games like what Sing said? You know, like I've always wanted to do marathons as well. Like for the last couple of weeks, I've been, you know what? Let's do some marathons, even if it's like Resident Evil original trilogy or something.
Yeah,
Do
we don't need
just do like,
popcorn.
yeah, you know, let's do something. You know, let's do something. And I know you guys watched a lot of my streams as well. Like the Road to Requiem was some of the best stuff I feel like we've ever done. You know, we did all them games in such a short time frame. I wanted to do File 2. I wanted to do a load of other games for it, but we just didn't have the time. We did what we could, like 2, 3 streams a day, and we stayed up till 1 o'clock doing Village or 2 o'clock. And I remember only having about an hour of sleep, and then we streamed Requiem straight after. And I did that whole stream, did 14-hour stream or 15-hour stream, whatever it was, with just 1 hour of sleep
Yeah,
or
14 hours.
less. And Jesus, that was fun. That was fun. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone once again as well. I didn't expect to be live for 40 minutes and have the viewership we've had. I was expecting it to be far, far worse, but holy moly, I just want to thank everyone again. You know, I want to thank everyone that watched us, you know, for 7 years. 7 whole years of costume mods is crazy, you know, but we will definitely work on some challenge stuff. If that's what you want to see, I'll do some other polls in the week. You know, we'll ask, do you want to see challenge runs? Do you want to see weapon only runs? Do you want to see just that sort of stuff? Do you want to see that? Do you want to see this, that, and the other? You know, just reach out with ideas. You know, just reach out with ideas what you want to see, and we'll go from there. You know, the support has been amazing as well. I didn't expect to have over 30 odd people watching me. You know, like look, I won't lie as well. Like the reason why I haven't really been streaming, yeah, yeah, hello, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I've been surprised that we even got this far in the first place. I've always said this, you know, when I first started this with Resident Evil 2, you know, you got Grizzly's sadness, but you know, you get back up stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Yeah.
You know, like I think at the start when all this happened, I was really down. You know, I think as well, like when I first started this, it was in the March, I believe, and that really started the journey in April and whatnot. It was I wasn't living in a good situation at the time. You know, like I was homeless for a little while. You know, I was homeless like when we were doing the start of the mod stuff. So for 2, 3 weeks, I was homeless. You know, I was living with my aunt. You know, on a living like a few doors down. You know, sitting sleeping on a sofa. You know, and she got me up on my feet and we found a place to live, and that started such a journey for 7 years. You know, when like the song goes, I get knocked down, but I get up. Oh my god, you remind me of the boys now, Kane. But yeah, I just want to make that clear, you know, like the start for me was really difficult and really rough. I lived in a single bedroom, just a bedroom, you know, smaller than where I'm sitting now, so about a quarter of my living room at the minute. and it was so difficult. You know, I didn't have a lot of people to speak to or rely on. Oh yes, it's on the show. Yeah, and that's the truth. I didn't have many people. You know, like I had my mother. You know, I had my aunt. You know, I had Martin, and that really was all I could really talk to at the time. Like, and when I'd get the amount of views and comments I did like back then, you guys made me happy. On a serious note, you guys made me feel like I could have a community. You know, and it's fucking hard, and that's all I can say. It's just fucking hard, and is where with current world events now, with cost of living and all that nonsense, it's a piss take. You know, it makes life harder for us, and mine's the best. Yeah, he is. He's a little shit, but we love him. We love him, and you know, and hopefully you guys will still be with me. You know, I hope all my viewers, my subscribers will tune in to our streams. You know, and we'll work something out. You know, we'll do something from tomorrow as well. We'll figure out what you want to do. We'll even if it's, you know, let's just start Insanity on Requiem tomorrow. Let's just do it. Fuck it. We'll do it from tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll stream Requiem tomorrow. We'll do some Insanity runs. Yeah, like the 7 years of support has been amazing. You know, I know we wanted to do some anniversary thing last year and we couldn't do it. You haven't walked away from me yet? No, Kane. I know I'm a pain in the ass, but but yeah, we'll get some stuff done. We'll have some fun. Let's just have fun, you know. And I feel like if you guys watch me have fun, maybe you can enjoy and have fun. You know, you can take the Mickey out of me when I'm dying. Man, kind of weird. This isn't going to be a Resident Evil channel anymore. We'll still do Resident Evil. I'm not sing. Sweet. Sorry, sweet. We'll still do Resident Evil. We'll focus on videos. I'll take a break from videos for a couple of days. We'll do Stellar Blade, Tomb Raider, Killing Antidote. We'll see. If there's any other games you want to see with mods, we'll have a look. Final Fantasy as well. We've got the remake and rebirth as well. We can do. But yeah, we'll do that. You know. You call me a pain? No, you call no. I'm a pain in the ass, Ken. I'm the pain in the ass. But yeah, we'll do loads. You know, I think the whole world's a wrestler where we don't have to just worry about Resident Evil, right? There's many other games out there. There's some cool other retro games I bought. You know, there's many games I bought like State of Decay, Nightmare of Decay is one that's like Resident Evil, but in first person. A few other little things. It's of its time. The puppet combo games. You know, let's do marathons. You know, let's do it. Let's just do it. Life's too short to wonder why people won't watch us. You know, or this and that and the other. Yeah, like let's just get going, you know, and have some fun. I think mentally I feel better. I don't feel drained from doing, of course, my webcam freezes. But of course, we'll look into doing other things. We'll do reactions, we'll do those big bowls, old school streams were the best honestly keep me going through uni at that time. Oh, you in uni, sweet. Bloody hell. But yeah, we'll go through big balls. Let's do randomizers. Let's do hard mode runs and all this. Let's have fun. Let's have fun with it. Life's too short about worrying about viewership and views and YouTube's bollocks. Let's just do it. Like honestly, the stream was never meant to be me feeling like a victim in this, nothing like that. You know, I just wanted to share light into the situation that if no other channels get this email or other channels just get struck with from Capcom without any notice, you know, then it's going to be interesting to see from here on out. You know, it'll be very interesting. I feel like it's going to be very interesting to see if they even bother giving anyone else this. Time you got drunk from a 12 cans of beer fighting with Hunters and Ori one. Oh, yes. Maybe we need to do one of them. Maybe we need to do like the most ridiculous hard mode randomizer stream on Remake and get utter sloshed. This is get utter pissed. Utterly sloshed and blitzed and whatnot. Let's do it.
You don't drink.
You can sit there and drink a Bimtai if you want.
Sit there and drink.
But yeah, we'll sort it out. If you want me to do a ridiculous hard mode randomizer with everything turned on hard, you're never letting that stream go, Oh yeah, there was another one I did. There was another one I did. No, I'm thinking the same one. So the drunk randomizer one, that'll always be the best, I think. Where the snake just knocked me out of the background and in like behind it. I was deep in the books back then. At least you graduated. Yes, sweet. I'm glad to hear you did, man. Like the last 6 years has been so weird. You know, like we had COVID and all sorts, and cost of living crisis is now a thing.
6 years ago now, we'd have been in fucking COVID, listening to fucking Boris
Honestly,
Johnson
like
fucking talking about
it's people like
COVID.
Kane, Evie, Martin, Sweet, Marvin, Volt. I hope Volt's doing well.
Yeah, I think he's doing better.
Who else was there? Who like I forget. There were so many other people that joined the streams. Eileen, Skyline Ember, and a few others as well. That made the stream so great. Just when we're just sitting there rabbiting about anything and anything. And this is the thing, yeah, Marvin Kane. So he was one of the OGs back in 2020. Pardon me, during lockdown, he'd call me out for getting Jill or Claire bit. But yeah, let's do marathons. Let's do randomizers. I love how my camera just keeps doing this. Can it just camera? But yeah, he was one of the OGs, Kane. He used to super chat me quite a bit as well. Bless him. Honestly, I appreciate everyone's generosity as well that supported us during that time as well. Like my goal has never been to ebeg, you know, like Dark Side Phil. I've never been into that. You know, I've always said if you wish to support, you can. You know, and that's always been memberships. I'll never have again on YouTube. So these are going to be the three core fundamentals. If I get remonetized, I will not enable super chat. I will not enable memberships. I don't want YouTube making another penny off me more than they do. You know, I know my paychecks won't be that big anymore because we won't be having the Resident Evil mods on there, but we'll have the streams, you know, and it'll be stuff that'll keep us going and just have fun. My goal has never been to make money on the platform. You know, my paychecks I've had the last 4 years or so have never been great. You know, it's always been more of a hobby than a full time thing. But if I could work in, I would. You know, but I just can't. I'm medically retired, so like even through the content theft, yeah. Even Sweet knows about the content theft I had.
Content theft? Oh.
Yeah, so this is fucking going through the iceberg, Evie. So,
Oh god, of an iceberg.
so many years ago, yeah, you remember you did that stream where you got your hand clutched and they did. She went for hours. Oh god, fucking hell, game. Yeah, like there was an idiot that posed as Capcom and struck my videos down. They posed as Capcom and I couldn't get them back. That was one of them. Yeah, like we had a geezer try stealing our content. It was mine and Fuckface's. He would literally get rid of our watermarks and plant like something in paint or like a black thing with his thing on it and put it on Facebook and YouTube and everything. He got what came to him, I suppose. But yeah, honestly, it's sorry, late. Work's being fucking busy. It's all good, cat. Mine. It's all good. All good. Hope you're doing well, mine. But yeah, mine. So in a nutshell, so Capcom gave us a thing from their legal department saying I must remove all my videos. I'll explain this in the Discord. Then we got the termination reinstatement, and then they gave me an age restriction on a short. So our videos are gone. So ZT was there, yeah. Even ZT, yeah. It's good, busy as fuck, yeah. As always, always. Even ZT, yeah. That's another one who's been with us for ages, man. Like, I appreciate everyone that's tuned in, and I'm glad we've been so tight knit as well. You know, like we always welcome everyone, you know, and we always chill out and have a bit of fun, you know. And what have you missed? Not a whole lot. I've just explained about the whole email thing I got here, and with every video, they actually gave me an Excel spreadsheet of every video link. I'm going to go through it again to make sure, but every Resident Evil mod and Capcom mod's been really removed aside from a Devil May Cry one. I seen Grizzly message bollocks. We know that was bollocks, man. We know that was bollocks. But yeah. Where's the things as well? So here's how my channel is performing now. It don't matter. Really, Grizz, yeah. Yep. So believe it or not. Come on. Yep. It is true. It is true. So Capcom gave me an email, told me I had to remove all my videos of Resident Evil, Street Fighter. What else they say? Oh yeah, Resident Evil, Street Fighter. They told me they wanted it resolved that way. They gave me a Termination as well, yeah, and some Stellar Blade stuff. They removed my channel from YouTube for about 20 minutes. We were reinstated, and then they gave me a strike on a video that wasn't even there. But yeah, we will bounce back from it. We'll bounce back from it as always. We always do. You know, we always bounce back from this. We'll try. We'll try as best as we can. Bloody hell, must took. Yeah, that must have took ages. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like we sit here and we have passion. You know, I have a passion for the modding community, but I can't really support it that much. No, not Requiem mods, right? Unfortunately, all my Requiem mods are gone, aside from the full playthroughs. I have to make sure that the full playthroughs aren't on the list, but it'll be practically modless. Don't ever give up. From the cheap magazines and the Portuguese Press Times, you got this. I hope so, Martin. Like my goal, like earlier, I said like the last 7 years. You know, I started out really difficult. You know, it's all good. It's all good. It is what it is. You know. But yeah, like 7 years ago, we started this out without even thinking we'd blow up to this amount in subs and viewership and all this. I need to say breath. Yeah, damn you, Capcom. Yeah, and like we never expected to get this big in subs and viewers. I think I would have been. I thought I would have been fighting about with this for a couple months and would have dropped it completely. You know, but it was you guys. You know, it was you guys that kept me going. You know, when we started this out, I was homeless. You know, for a little while when moved into a place in Rumford. You know, a little bedroom. You know, the tiniest bedroom in the world with a sink and a cabinet. You know, and to this day, I've still not been able to get all my stuff. Yeah, yeah, and I got ringworm as well from that fucking place. But enough about parasites. But yeah. Oh, it's a fungus. I don't even fucking know. But yeah. But yeah, I remember when we first started getting into it seriously, I was really ill for about 2 months. I remember being on a party chat with Martin, you know, and like, I'm sure he'd be able to back that up maybe if he could remember. Like I was really ill, I was vomiting, phlegm and everything, and like we were still doing it because I loved you guys. You know, you guys kept me going with mods. You know, I would have stopped if no one watched. In all honesty, ringworm from bloody Woody beats his ass. He sniffed. Nah. Fuck knows how I got. I think it was from the mattress as well. You know, like you guys supported me that much that I was able to move into the flat I'm in now. You know, and for the future prospects as well, we'll be living here for a while. As well, we got an update as well. So, I know I said this in my streams that we weren't able to use our shower or our bath because of the hot water situation. We've still got that issue, and we heard back from the property manager and said they're still waiting on the report from 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So we're still waiting on that. We're still able to shower, but it's like hypothermia levels of cold. You know. But shit happens. But for the foreseeable future, I'll be living here still. We'll still be live. We'll be live tomorrow with Insanity runs. Or with an Insanity run, we'll get that started. I haven't played Insanity yet. I say that I played like 20 minutes of it. Random when we got Horny climbing the mountain, don't ask. God almighty, Kane. But yeah, we haven't really touched Insanity. That's like the last goal I have to do, but I want to play Requiem and have some fun. Like, we ain't going to give up, you know, even if mods are gone. You know, we won't give up on that. And, you know, we've had a really positive turnout. We had 40 people watching, I think, at one stage, and that's crazy. Like, I appreciate everyone that's tuned in and watched us, you know, and it's crazy that Capcom issues this to me, you know, once again, and I'm gonna be with my eyes are hawk. You know, I'm gonna look at other channels and I'm gonna see if they've done anything with any other channels. Insanity's fucking hard, yeah. I played a little bit. I got to the bit with the first zombie encounter with a shotgun and stopped. I got my face. Yeah, I got my face blasted off. And then I was like, you know what? I'll play that some other time. I'll play that on a stream. But yeah, we're not going to give up. We'll challenge ourselves. Let's do marathons. Let's get fucking blitzed on a stream and fucking do a 12-hour fucking randomizer stream again if we can. But yeah, so if we do a fundraiser, you can fund to have my hair shaved and my eyebrows shaved or something. I don't know. We'll do something. We'll figure it all out. You know, if you want ideas, put it in my community tab as well. We'll have plenty of polls in the coming week as well. We'll have loads of them. What you want to see, what we can do, feedback. It all helps. You know, every little bit helps. I know I haven't streamed a lot, you know, and I'll take full responsibility for that. It's just I just felt a bit burnt out after doing 2-3 streams a day, especially on that Rota thingy. So I'm sure we'll do a Rota Code Veronica remake at some point as well. That's the inevitable. You need to do randomizer for RE2. You fucking loved it. Yeah, the Bioran's pretty cool. Like, I would love to do Biorans as well. I know there's a whole bunch of characters. I can look into purchasing the characters for the classic games. You can play as Donald Trump, Squidward, SpongeBob, Mr. Bean, I think now. Scooby Doo, I think, as well. It's insane with the amount of people coming out. Even Silent Hill characters you can play as now. There's a whole pack dedicated to Silent Hill, Toy Story as well. I'm certain I've got a bunch of them in one of my folders, so I have to literally look. But yeah, so if there's anything else you want to see, let me know. We'll do it. You know, Jill Valentine is the best lady. I think Kane will agree with you on that, Catme. How you doing, by the way, Catme? Welcome. But yeah, if you've only just tuned in, I'll go through it again. So what's happened is Capcom's sent me an email regarding unauthorized use of characters on mods. So they're trying to, what they've told me to do is remove my videos, otherwise they'll nick my channel. We've had to get rid of all our Resident Evil related videos with mods. We will do. So I'm not allowed to do costume mods no more, but I'm looking at an eyes a whole because if I see other channels doing this that have been unaffected by this, and I'm a bit baffled. But nonetheless, we're gonna look into doing other mods. We're gonna do difficulty, randomizer, and weapon mods. I'm sure weapon mods are fine. I've seen many other channels succeed with mods. Well, Capcom, yep, yeah, Cap. And then while we were removing our videos, we got terminated for a very brief time.
Honestly, fuck Capcom.
Yeah, honestly, we got terminated for a very brief time. We appealed, we won in about 10-15 minutes, and then since then, really everything's gone. Has Mr. X been targeted by Capcom? I don't know, mine. If they have his email, they might target him. But remember the Michael Jackson stream? That's still up, I think. That one's still up. I do want to go through that again at some point on Nightmare Mode or something and have a laugh. But yeah, like, I'm going to assume they will go after him next. You know, like, I don't think this is a one and done deal. If it is, then I'm going to be baffled. You know, this is a dangerous precedent that they've done me, but they've not done anyone else.
I mean, if they don't do it, I'll personally try and contact them.
I'll actively keep emailing them until they respond. I want responses. I want responses from them.
Yeah, I want it.
Because they've been very quiet with me at the minute. Very quiet. Like, I'll keep emailing them going, I want a response. I want a response right now. The channel'll still be here? Yep. So we're still going to stream here. I'm going to open another channel for no commentary runs. So what I'll do is while we're streaming, I'll see if I can record it or something like that, and we'll just go from there. Like, this stream hasn't been that much of a problem wise anyway, and we've not got many things on in the background. So as well, we've completely migrated from Streamlabs OBS to Stream Elements, and that's really put no stress on the thingy. Keep pushing for responses. I agree. Yep, we'll keep pushing. Just keep pushing. And damn, YouTube is acting up here. Typical, Kane. Typical. Go to sleep then. Okay. Thank you ever so much for popping in and swinging by for support as always. You know, it's always nice seeing people that always have interacted in the comments and and always, you know, giving such positivity. You know, and we need more of that in the world, man. We need more positivity, and you know, the last 90 days or the last couple months have been hard because we've been demonetized and much love. Yeah, we're gonna I will try and bounce back as best I can. You know, I know things aren't going to be the exact same as they were. You know, I believe that as a whole, they're not going to be the same. You know, but we're going to try and stream a lot more. We're going to interact with you guys more. I want, you know, I want to do as many posts as I can for feedback and recommendations and what you want to see. You know, like anyway, you got to go, got to bounce. All good, all good. Thank you, Martin, for popping in. I know you said you would, so thank you. But yeah, so we'll bounce back from this. I just want to thank everyone once again, you know, who's tuned in and gave me some support, you know, and we will bounce back. We will implement as many ideas as possible into our streams as well. We'll implement as much as we can. You know, I just want to thank everyone again. You know, this hasn't been a pity stream. This hasn't been nothing like that. I just wanted the truth out there, you know, because I'm sure some people will try and make some nonsense like why I've deleted all my videos. But that's the truth of it. We were told by Capcom, you know, and we're going to keep pushing on to them and try and get a response. If we don't, we don't. At the end of the day, I'm going to try for at least a month to get at least some sort of response out of them. I want as much as possible. You know, if I have to, I know someone that might be able to actually get a response out of them. So yeah, so we'll get that way. Cheers, Grizzo. You pop in when you can. All good, sweet. All good. I know you will. I'm sorry this happens to you. It really sucks. I know, Salazar. I know. But thank you, man. You've always been very supportive on the videos and on my posts as well. I can't thank everyone enough for the last 7 years once again with costume mods. So from there, we'll webcam. But from tomorrow, we'll be doing Insanity stream with no costume mods. So it's going to be a new era, I suppose, where we're not doing any of that anymore. It's sad to see, you know, but it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate and sad to see, but we will move on from costume mods and we'll try and give you the best content I can possibly do, and want you to see that I'm not just some geezer living in a basement or something. You know, I want you guys to see that I'm me. You know, and like, I'm just a human being. You know, and just want to just have fun, have a good laugh with this. Grace, yeah. Name the costume and I'll use it. Well, official costume, I suppose. But we'll use it as best we can. But yeah, that really is about it, really. I was only going to go for about 30, 45 minutes. We've gone an hour. But if there's anything you want to ask, feel free. You know, I'll try and be as honest as I can as well. Hands up in the air, you know, like I'll be as honest as I can. The noir, you want me to use noir? Okay, can I use noir? So yeah, so we'll get started on Insanity runs tomorrow, or the first part of Insanity. I don't think we'll beat that all at once. But yeah, we'll get that sorted out. We'll schedule it, and we'll just work from here. You know, if you want to see anything else, you let me know. If you want to see games, other games that aren't Resident Evil or moddable, you know, like Nightmare of Decay, for example, just puppet combo. You want to see marathons, you want to see me get sloshed, and we'll do a randomizer. You know, the world's our oyster. I'm happy to do it. You know, we won't get only use me blade levels of sloshed and lose our toes, but we'll get sloshed. But yeah, once again, I just want to thank everyone. You know, the support has been amazing. You know, I didn't expect to get that much in support today. By that I mean viewership and chat. You know, I don't mean it by money, like what Dark Side feel would. You know, but yeah, so I'll get out of here. I just want to thank everyone again. We'll see you tomorrow for Insanity runs. And what the hell? You just found a clit in the forest. Fucking hell, Kane. You're cursed. But yeah. You are cursed, Kane. But yeah, so I'll get out of here. I just want to thank everyone once again. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do a proper Insanity stream. We'll just have fun, and I think that's the goal. Let's just have fun. And as well, this is another thing as well. I'll never put my stuff in sub only mode as well. I'll never do that because that makes you look like you got something to hide. But nonetheless, but yeah, so I just want to thank you once again. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll see you then. So take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening, morning, night. It was a South Park reference. Fuck's sake, Kane. But yeah, so have a good rest of your day, morning, night. whatever you want to do. Thank you everyone for your support for the last 7 years, and tomorrow we enter a new era, I suppose. So thank you everyone, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone.